All right, so we have Alexa and Gary here from SMUD. They're gonna give us a zero carbon plan presentation. And then I think if there's time, maybe some follow-up questions. Is that what we're hoping to do? So
yeah,
I'll let you two take it away. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So thank you, Eric. My name's Gary Ferguson, and I work with SMUD's Community Engagement Department. And among other parts of my job, I am the Elmhurst Neighborhood Association liaison, community liaison for SMUD. And as you may or may not be aware, SMUD has committed to being carbon-free by 2030, which is pretty ambitious. It puts us way ahead of the state mandates. So I brought with me tonight Alexia Hughes. Alexia is going to give a presentation on our road to zero carbon. It's a pretty short presentation, but it'll give you a good idea of what we're trying to do. Alexia, as I mentioned, is a Clean Power Champion. So that's a group of volunteers at SMUD. They're employees from throughout the organization that have volunteered to give their time and energy to basically being evangelists for our clean energy vision. So with that, and I should say, we're happy to field questions and answer whatever we can. What questions we can't answer, we will certainly get back to you with information as best we can. If you could just hold any questions till the end of the presentation, and then we'll field all the questions all at once, that would be great. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen here for the presentation. So hopefully that works well. Okay, I'm going to assume you can all see the presentation. Yes?
I can see it.
And I am going to mute myself and pass it over to Alexia.
Thanks, Gary. Hi, everyone. Thank you for that introduction, Gary. I'm Alexia, and I am a Clean Power City Champion for SMUD. I'm really excited to be here to talk about our 2030 Zero Carbon Plan, the progress we have made in the past year, and share ways that you can get involved and join us on our journey to zero. So at the end of this presentation, we will have some time to address your questions, and feel free to drop them in the chat if you'd like us to review them afterward. Next slide, please. Perfect. So SMUD is your community-owned, not-for-profit electric company. We're governed by a seven-member board of directors who live in the wards they serve and are elected by our customers. Because we are community-owned, there are no shareholders, and we're guided by making decisions that are in the best interest of our customers and community. Today, we're one of the cleanest utilities in the nation, with 50% of our power coming from carbon-free resources. Although we're focused on reaching zero carbon by 2030, we're also committed to providing safe, reliable, and affordable power, and have some of the lowest rates in California. Next slide. Thank you. So I'll start by providing a little background on our road to zero. Unfortunately, we live in one of the most polluted cities in the country, and local asthma rates in children are much higher than the national average. That's why in 2020, the SMUD board adopted a climate emergency declaration. In 2021, we created a plan to eliminate carbon emissions from our power supply by 2030. Since then, we have hit the ground running and have made significant progress on our path to a clean energy future. Next slide. Here's a snapshot of the main pillars of our 2030 Zero Carbon Plan. We plan to retire and retool our existing power plants, expand our use of proven clean renewable resources, pilot and scale new projects and programs, leverage grants and partnerships to limit rate impacts, and maximize community benefit for all our customers. This work will require significant investments and will also result in thousands of new clean tech jobs right here in our region. Now I would like to share a bit more detail on our progress over the past year. Here you will see the locations of SMUD's 5 power plants. We have used the past year to complete detailed analysis and reliability studies, and we are pleased to report that we will be able to retire our McClellan plant by 2024 and our Campbell plant by 2025. Moving forward this year, we're working on performing reliability assessments, developing our plan to retool our Carson facility, and monitoring advancements in alternative fuels. Next slide. Next, we focused on expanding our proven clean energy sources. We activated 6 large-scale battery storage units at our Hedge facility that can be tapped when our energy resources will be online in the next few years. By 2025, we expect that renewable energy sources in our power supply will be at about 50% and will have reduced our carbon emissions by nearly 1 million metric tons, which is almost 50% of our current carbon footprint. That is amazing progress in just 3 to 4 years. Moving forward, we'll continue to execute our power purchase agreements, launch more clean technology projects, and support customers who want to install solar and/or solar storage at their homes. Next slide. We have also been very diligent about the financial impacts of this plan. Last year, our board approved rate increases that were below the rate of inflation, which are 1.5% in 2022, at other ways we can decrease the need for future rate increases. Additionally, we have developed new internal work groups specifically focused on finding sustainable operational savings and seeking grants and partnerships to help support our work. Next slide. Lastly, we are looking to pilot and scale new projects. Starting this year, we will be implementing pilot programs to build and test our virtual power plant initiatives, which we've named My Energy Optimizer. Virtual power plants are the combination of customer resources such as solar, battery storage, EV charging, that are coordinated to help meet demand. When we can share our resources and stored energy in times of high need, we are able to power the grid carbon-free. Our goal is to enroll 10,000 customers in this pilot program by the summer of 2023. Additionally, we plan to continue to increase building electrification projects. We are piloting things like personalized home electricity reports, option for low amp heat pump water heaters, and commercial kitchen electrification. We're also working on transportation electrification. We have a new residential program that provides incentives for residents to purchase and install level 2 EV chargers in their homes. We are working with school districts that have electric buses and businesses with electric fleet vehicles to initiate battery dispatch from the vehicles to the grid when they are not in use. Lastly, we are implementing our virtual solar program, which will allow low-income customers to take advantage of solar energy through a program where qualified multi-unit property owners can install solar on their complex, and a portion of the money generated is returned to the customers in the complex. Income qualified customers will also continue to receive any energy assistance program rates and/or medical equipment rate discounts. There are also many rebates and incentives you can take advantage of on our website at smud.org/rebates. I would like to mention a few that might be helpful for you. So SMUD has a weatherization opportunities through SMUD approved contractors to help make your homes more efficient and save money on your bills. You can take rebates for items like heat pump water heaters, induction cooktops, and we can connect you to statewide and local incentives for purchasing an electric vehicle and help you enroll in a discount rate if you charge your electric car between midnight and 6 a.m. We now also offer a variety of battery storage incentives available for residential customers. Rooftop solar and solar plus storage systems are great ways to add the resiliency of the grid and will help achieve the 2030 zero carbon plan. Solar and storage help you save money and share clean energy with others. For new all-electric commercial or residential construction and energy efficiency retrofits, we have many programs and services to help support our customers in their transition to electric or more efficient homes and buildings. Next slide. Now, some of our largest electrification rebates and incentives shown here help you save energy in your home and help our whole community work toward a cleaner energy future. Replacing an old, inefficient gas water heater with an eligible heat pump water heater can earn you up to $2,500 in rebates. If your HVAC system is old, it's probably inefficient. Replacing it can trim your energy bills and increase the comfort of your home. We offer up to $3,000 in rebates on energy-efficient heat pump heating and cooling systems installed by a qualified contractor. We also have a variety of battery storage incentives available for residential customers, up to $2,500 for partnering with SMUD to help make our energy system stronger and more reliable. When you partner with SMUD, your battery will reduce energy usage during the hours when demand is highest and clean energy resources are scarce. For qualified commercial battery storage customers, an incentive of up to $5,000 per site is available for your commitment to operate your battery system in a way that reduces your electricity costs and contributes to a healthier environment. Your battery is most likely already operating in this mode. We also offer a wide variety of incentives to encourage investment in energy efficiency for our business customers. Our rebates range from simple to custom energy upgrades. Business customers can learn more about what's available to them by connecting with their strategic account advisor at smud.org/myadvisor. And finally, we even have a multifamily rebate program that's designed for multifamily properties of 5 units or more, with incentives to support switching to cleaner, more efficient electric space heating, water heating, and cooking appliances. Electric appliances save money and increase tenant safety as well. Next slide. So in addition to all of our incentives and rebates, we want to give you some ideas of easy ways to get involved on our road to zero. Throughout the next year, we will be sharing simple and free or low-cost steps that you and everyone in our community can take to join the charge today. For example, you can go paperless. You can request that your billing is paperless on your SMUD account. You can consider driving electric. Keep your thermostat set to 78 degrees and consider getting a smart programmable thermostat. There are great deals at the SMUD Energy Store. You can wash your clothes on cold. Consider planting a tree or shrub, or even weatherize your home. Drive less, walk more, shop thrifty, and eat local when you can. We're creating a movement, and we want you to come along with us on this journey for a cleaner, healthier future. So we hope that you will be able to start implementing just a few of these in your daily life. Next slide. So this is just the beginning of a long 9-year journey. It is important for SMUD to stay connected with you and all customers along the way. To join the charge, learn more, and get involved with 2030 Zero Carbon Plan, visit cleanpowercity.org, or you can scan this QR code to be linked to the website right now. You can become a Clean Power City champion by answering a few questions online, and in return, SMUD will send you a Clean Power City t-shirt and join the charge sticker. And you can connect with SMUD on social media. You can be a champion to spread the word using hashtag #CleanPowerCityMessage2. Thank you for the opportunity today to speak with you guys, and I'm happy to take any questions or comments that you may have.
Thank you, Alexia.
So no questions? You guys are going to make this easy for us?
It looks like Gary has a question.
Gary has his hand up.
Can you take this, can you take the screen share down, then we can see everybody, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I am a guest this evening, and I do appreciate those who had invited me. I do have a couple of questions. In your presentation, you stated to save money, replace your old AC unit. And for those of us of a certain age, would you please define old?
Gary, do you want to define old in HVAC systems?
Well, I mean, obviously that's kind of a relative question, right? I suppose the definition would be one more of whether or not you feel that the system is efficient. And I would say probably anything older than 8 or 10 years is very inefficient as compared to the newer systems. And like Lexia mentioned, we do have some great rebates on replacing your HVAC systems available. So we're counting on customers to help us out, help us reach zero carbon by doing things like this. Obviously, there's other ways that you can help out that are less expensive than that as well. So, but that's a big one for us. Yeah.
And our rebates page will actually show you examples or models of certain household appliances that meet the energy efficiency requirements. I don't know if they do, if it has that information specific to HVAC, but I know for like refrigerators or certain household utilities, there will be certain models that are considered to be efficient and qualify for those rebates.
Thank you for that. I do appreciate Gary's answer. SMUD's view of old is 8 to 10 years. Man, I have socks older than that. But anyway, moving right along. Just for clarification, the Campbell plant, I'm assuming that's the old Campbell Soup on 47th and between 24th and Franklin?
That's correct, yes.
No, so my apologies, because I thought that particular system was already offline, but you're saying that it's not, and it's coming offline when?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's coming offline in 2025.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Last two.
Yeah, and the other, just to clarify, the other plants that are not coming offline are being retooled so that they're for better efficiency and to better handle more of the renewable resources.
Thank you. That was half of the answer of the question I was about to ask. Is Campbell going to be retooled from SMUD or just dormant from SMUD? SMUD sells it, and then a private buyer coming in to repower up that same system for their own private use there at the old Campbell Soup facility. As far as you know.
I don't have any information on what they plan to do with the plant once it has been shut down completely, but it's unlikely, because it's within SMUD's district, that they would actually sell it off and have somebody else come in and bring that back up to speed and run it again, because that would kind of defeat the purpose of having zero carbon, no emissions within our air district.
I appreciate that. That's why I was asking, because I have heard been in conversations to which what I just asked was actually part of a plan to make happen. And I've had a couple of different answers. So anytime I have the opportunity to ask, I do ask that question. And just maybe I feel what you're about to ask. The private buyer coming in to bring the Campbell plant back up would be to power a oh man, the word just slipped my mind. Bottom line, an industrial size garbage disposal for the green waste. Oh, I can't think of the word, but that is the conversation that has that I have heard in multiple areas in regards to that purchase. Or once SMUD takes it offline, the owners of the property bringing it back up to power that particular mechanical entity. But
and we'd be happy to try to track down more information on that for you if you like. If you can just provide some contact information for us, then we can try to get in touch with the right people that might have information on what the plans are for that plant once it has been decommissioned.
I appreciate that. Quick reference, I will put my contact information in. KCRA news story several months back, conversation with County Supervisor Kennedy, Sacramento B. Just for reference points, that's what I've asked has come forward in stating that's what the plan is. So again, only because you're SMUD folks. So as I stated, every time I have an opportunity to ask a SMUD person, I will ask that question because there are multiple answers that are being given. Lastly, I appreciate that, Gary. And the last thing is, I missed them doing a valve cover gasket change here to not warrant, but to be rewarded for a SMUD t-shirt. Yes, I like everything free. What is it that one needs to do again?
Oh, if you just go to sorry, Clean
I'll
Power
drop it in
City.
the chat.
They keep changing it, but yeah, I'll drop it in the chat here. And I will also drop in my email address so that you can directly about the Campbell's plant, and I will get back to you and track down the information. So that's my
Thank you,
email
folks.
address.
I appreciate your time and patience.
Clean Power
Thanks,
City.
Thank you for your
Barry.
question.
.org.
And I dropped that in the chat. You just need to answer a couple questions and submit your information, and then you'll get your t-shirt and your sticker.
Sounds good to me. Thank you.
Or if you
Thank
come out to the state fair on next Monday, the SMUD booth will be there and we can give you a shirt directly.
Well, I appreciate that, but I still try to maintain my distance from the big crowd, but that's just me.
I understand.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a
Thanks, Barry.
question.
Yeah,
This is
Francesca.
Francesca. I have a question, a quick one. I've gone to your rebate site, and speaking of old, as Barry was saying, we are old folks at my house and we've been holdouts, and the only air conditioning we have right now is a window unit, which we only got about 5 years ago. Before that, we lived in Sacramento from 1984 until then with no air conditioning. So I see that there's no rebate if you've never had a heat pump or another system. It doesn't look like you have a rebate plan for somebody to get a system, only to replace an inefficient one. Is that correct?
Yeah, to my knowledge, that is correct. You have to be replacing, because the idea, of course, is we're getting rid of old inefficient units and replacing them with newer ones.
So if you don't have one, you're SOL. Okay, I just thought I'd ask.
We appreciate the question.
We have Jacob.
Hi there. Thanks for giving up a night at home to come do this, both of you. So we recently remodeled our house, and in the process, we took advantage of a lot of the SMUD rebates. So we did the heat pump water heater, the HVAC system. We went all electric, so we did the full home performance program with the insulation, and we pretty much maxed out everything at the time that there was that we could get. And so coming up, we have reserved an electric vehicle that is going to start being built probably November. And some of its capabilities are vehicle to home and vehicle to grid, sort of two-way charging. I'm also interested in solar and storage. I was sort of waiting to see kind of what the loads were going to be, what the cost is going to be to run the house before we, try to size the system, because everything is brand new. So I was wondering we also have a smart thermostat that has automated demand response capabilities. So I was wondering how to sort of get on your radar to be part of some of these residential pilots that are out there, because I think, I'm interested in that kind of stuff, and I think our house might be maybe a good candidate. I don't know if you like to, find older homes to upgrade more than where we are at this point, but if the website the place to go to sign up, and then I'll be on your radar? Or are there other ways to talk to folks about some of the more sort of advanced pilot programs?
Yeah, so to address what your first part of your question is, we're actually are looking for people all the time that are going to be on the cutting edge of these technologies, to be part of those programs, as well as people that have older homes, right? Because those are the early adopters, are the ones that are going to provide us typically with good feedback and basically a test bed for us to experiment with these things.
Yeah.
And work in partnership like that. As far as being on the radar for some of the pilot programs and stuff, I would say that checking the website on a regular basis is a great resource for doing that, for figuring out that when we're going to go pilots. They will also, the people doing the pilots, whichever department that is, a lot of times it's the R&D department, they will reach out to customers that we know that have those technologies. So if you do install solar, obviously we'll know about that. If you put in a vehicle charging unit, which we have rebates for right now, we'll know about that. And so they will reach out potentially to that entire customer segment that have that, and ask if you want to be involved in those types of pilots.
Okay. So how do I, for the first part where you talked about the customers who are on sort of the cutting edge early adopters, like bright, shiny objects, that's, do I talk to you about that? How do I go about that?
You can certainly send me an email and I will, I mean, I wouldn't have the answers personally on that, but I can certainly get in touch with the folks doing the pilots.
Okay.
If we have pilots coming up. I mean,
Sure.
I can't speak to what they've got coming in the future, but I can certainly put you in touch with folks that would be able to give you better answers than I do.
Okay, that'd be great. And your email?
My email address is there in the chat. It's gary.ferguson@smud.org.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Jacob. So I actually have a follow-up to Jacob. You know, we recently redid our roof, and we have about a 1,200 square foot home. And I think this kind of follows up on, especially for our neighborhood in particular, and a lot of the older neighborhoods in Sacramento that do have these, you know, we're all used to living smaller, and the square footage isn't quite as big. So I think, you know, we had asked, is it worth it for us to do solar on the roof? And the cost was not going to offset based on the size of our house, and also the fact that SMUD has incredible rates. So I think a good question is, you know, for people that are trying to weigh, like, you know, the idea of either storage or how do you offset, is it worth it in the long run? What does SMUD have to say, you know, to those residents?
Yeah, so I know exactly where you're coming from because I'm in a 1,600 square foot house, so not a huge place. The fact of the matter is that for a lot of people in SMUD territory, solar doesn't pencil out because we are currently about 45% below PG&E rates, and so some of the best rates in the state for sure. And I'm not just plugging us; it's just a fact. But if you go to the website under the solar section, we have a solar estimator there. I don't know if you've utilized that tool. And what you do is put in your address, and it actually uses the LiDAR data to estimate where, you know, the best place on your house for solar and the size of the unit that you would need, and gives you a lot of information about trying to figure out whether that's cost effective or not to do. And that would be, I would say, the best resource. And within that section of the website as well, you'll find all the contact information for the people that can give you more information on solar. And they love chatting with our customers about solar and figuring out what's the best thing for our customers.
That's great to know. I mean, I think it's, you know, it's interesting because people, neighbors or whatever, have asked like, oh, you know, we know you got a new roof, and the solar always comes up. So I think it's super helpful to point them in a certain direction if those questions come up for our neighborhood in particular. We're kind of over time for.
I think there's one more question.
Oh,
Anita?
sorry.
Yeah.
Anita, if you're on mute.
Okay, there, I got myself unmuted. So Gary, given that you're the Elmhurst rep, would you sort of be the first stop for people who are trying to find out whether or not they are a good candidate for some of SMUD's programs, or how do you navigate the SMUD system as a customer?
Oops, Gary, you're on mute.
Again, on mute again. Look at that. I would say personally that the best resource is really the website for finding information specific to questions that you have. To be a go-between with you if you have specific questions as well. Things that I don't know the answers to, I can probably track down the person that can get back to you, or at least push you in the right direction on the website to find those answers. I'm more of a liaison to the overall group than the individual members in, you know, finding out ways that we can partner with your group for, you know, helping you guys out with energy efficiency and things like that. But I'm happy to you know, be a go-between for any of your questions. And that's why I provided my email address there.
Okay, appreciate that. Just as sort of sum it up sort of statement, I was curious when I joined in tonight, what SMUD is doing differently from what you've done in the past in order to achieve this status by 2030. Is it fair to basically say you're pursuing more solar and more storage? Is that sort of a way to capsulize what you're telling us tonight?
Yeah, you want to answer that, Alexia, or I can, either way.
Yeah, so much of what we're doing is looking for it, we are going to encapsulate and, stop using those power plants that are not good for the environment and switching over to virtual power plants where we're going to be working with our customers to offload our grid at those times where power is not, where we can't access power that is clean. But also there is an opportunity for clean tech, which we are exercising. And Gary, I don't know if you want to expand on that in terms of the clean tech opportunities we're including in in our 2030 vision.
Yeah, so obviously there's the wind and there's solar and expanding hydro, as well as some other technologies that are like carbon storage and things like that, which are pretty cutting edge. We're also looking into other new battery storage technologies besides the ones that we implemented in January, which are basically they're lithium ion. So they're essentially giant cell phone batteries for all intents and purposes, but we're looking at other technologies coming down the road. Part of our clean power vision is based on some of the technologies coming out that are not there yet, but that we see the potential for, and we know will be coming down the road. A big part of that is, like one of the things Jacob mentioned, I believe, is vehicles that are able to push power back into the grid, or being able to use our customers' battery storage units to provide power to the grid at critical times and things like that. Obviously, none of this technology will be used without the customer's permission, but that's why we're looking to our customers to help us out and be huge partners for us in this process.
Thanks. Good summary.
Thank you.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions? We're kind of over time for Alexa and Gary, so thank you both for joining us and giving us the presentation. Super, beneficial and helpful to everyone to hear these things and have these resources. So we really appreciate it.
We appreciate you guys having us out this evening, even if it's virtual, and we'll let you get on with your meeting.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate
Bye.
it.
Thanks for coming.